Wow, 2021. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. Welcome to yet another episode of Just Us with Kuto and Emily. This is our show where we
With
get Emily.
I was going to say, welcome to 2021, where we are now relaxed and able to breathe.
Yeah, and remember in our show, we try to have frank conversations in a way that unites the world. Yeah, so we hope this whole relaxation and breathing easy and freshness and newness and Emily, right now, it's morning in South Africa and it's raining. We've had rain the last couple of days, so it really feels like new beginnings over here in a major sort of way. So I'm all in the mood for newness. I'll drink to that.
Has it not
Fresh
rained
coffee.
for you?
Well, you know what? We've had a really interesting summer because we've had more rain than most people I know can recall. So everything looks absolutely gorgeous right now. It looks so lush. It's beautiful. It honestly is beautiful
Yeah,
to walk
our
out.
summer finally feels like it's kicking in because we've had some hot weather lately. It's been so warm that now the hills are brown.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we've had the reverse.
Oh, it's been a dry summer for you guys, huh?
Well, it just hasn't taken long to dry off. Let's put it that way. It hasn't been dry. It's been a bit
Because it's New Zealand, right? It's always bloody raining. Oh, excuse that French. You know what? I've always said New Zealand is a great place to raise kids, but the weather. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, I tell
Mm.
you what, the summers are amazing. You can't beat
Yeah.
summer in New Zealand. In fact, a friend of mine said, "Summer in New Zealand, winter in Finland," because the Finnish know how to do winter, and the Kiwis know how to do summer.
There you
Everything in
go.
between, well, you got to go somewhere else.
Yeah. All right, Emily. We're live, right? I hope you know that. So, new beginnings 2021. This is our first show in quite a few weeks now. It's almost the end of January and we inadvertently ended up having to just take a break. Yeah, 2020
Yeah,
was a long year. And
I
sorry, go ahead.
no, we lost our momentum. We lost our stride a bit. But admittedly, that kind of happens in the Southern Hemisphere. Things just stop over Christmas.
Yeah, you
Suddenly,
don't.
yeah, suddenly you don't need to do anything anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
just exist and be. And and that's kind of hard for some of us when we're used to being on the go the whole time.
Yeah, I was about to say, with us being type A personalities, it's like, why do you need a break? It's like, why does the world have to stop for 2 weeks?
Christmas? What do you
But
want?
South
Really,
Africa is the
Christmas?
same way.
So I think we were
I'm
talking about
I'm sorry,
how,
Emily.
hmm, yeah, I think we were talking about how, we had kind of a rough end to our year, and we were trying to figure out how to pick up that energy and that momentum again.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
we wanted to bring into the new year that concept of positivity and trying to always look at what your next potential opportunity or goal is, um, even if you feel like you didn't achieve the last goal or that you are still working on that goal, how to keep yourself
Right.
going. And I think one thing we were talking about, these whole concept of New Year's resolutions and how full of shit they are. But
Full of shit.
but at the same
Yeah.
time, people need that to keep them motivated, right, for the
Mhm,
upcoming year, because you're at the start of the year and you're like, oh shit, what do we got going on this year?
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
so we were trying to think of strategies of how you keep that momentum, how
mhm,
you maintain a New Year's resolution, how you move into a new year after a really bad year, how you get
mhm.
over a hurdle of, okay, maybe we had a bad day at work, but how do you just pick up and just keep on keeping on?
And plug through. Yeah, yeah. And we truly can, empathize um, firsthand because we really felt it. Remember the last episode, which we had entitled "I'm exhausted, y'all." I think that's
Yeah,
what
and
we
we
called
were
it, right?
exhausted, weren't we?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! Oh my gosh! I mean, you can even see it now when you look at our show. The last show we did, which was in middle of December, we were just knackered out. We were just, yeah, we were really exhausted. And so, Emily, what can we share? What kind of how are we picking ourselves up? Which somebody else might find helpful from wherever they are if they're struggling to also pick themselves up, given that universally 2020 was quite challenging. Anything come to mind? I've got a couple of things I can think about, but you go first.
Well, I have to admit, even when we discussed this topic before, I don't think it quite dawned on me how, despite how much criticism I give to this Kiwi nature of taking 2 weeks off, I think the break did us some good. Taking a moment
Mm-hmm.
to pause, to actually just regain our energy and to feel a little bit more fresh this year. So I think that's definitely one. You got to give yourself a break.
Yeah.
You can't just keep plowing on. You got to take a breather
Mm-hmm.
and really embrace that. Don't just half ass do it. For some
Right.
reason, I've decided to have a potty mouth tonight, but that's this is for the adult audience anyway, right?
Well, yeah, we hope. Yeah, and I thought it was quite interesting. Emily, you and I have always said through all these years, and truly we've known each other for over 20 years now, that our lives just seem to be, moving in parallels. Whatever happens to me is going to happen to you. Whatever happens to you is going to happen to me. So I thought it was interesting, speaking of breaks, how we ended up, I mean, we didn't plan it at all. But we ended up going on holiday at the exact same time, and we,
Right.
we were planning our next session, and I said to you, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go away with my husband and kids for a few weeks. And you're like, oh, I forgot about that. I was like, what? I never told you. You're like, yeah, I've got the same. I'm taking away my kids too. And we ended up both staying away, on holiday for a couple of weeks, and we came back around the same time too.
Yeah, I think we were
So
even driving at the same time.
it was
Driving back.
hilarious, wasn't it? Yeah. And truly we're quite privileged that we have the ability to go away and leave the normal rut. And many people don't have that opportunity. And so what would we say to somebody who really needs to take a break, or and they can't go away? Because leaving your house and to go somewhere, it really helps a lot, because it gives you fresh perspectives. You see different things, get energy from different people. What do you
Yeah.
think somebody who's stuck at home can do, really? Anything?
Listen to our
you know
podcast.
well, that's one. But I was also thinking another thing. I was thinking something we're actually trying right now, which is the very same things you've done, just do them differently. I mean, we decided, okay, we normally have this more formal approach to things. We try to make our backgrounds look a little more formal. Today, we're just like, girl, just sit down. Oh, who cares if we gotta show your bed? I mean, we all sleep in a bed, don't we? You know,
Right.
have it casual. Why not have your cup of coffee? Why not, and really allow yourself to
Be
listen,
you.
to be you, and give yourself the space to hear what you need, what
Yeah.
your body and what your whole being tells you you need. And this I'm having to say to myself, especially because, like you, we're like go 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 go, right? And we're even at a point in our podcasting work where we're debating, okay, should we just do audio only or audio and video? Because we're needing to really figure out what we actually realistically can do
Yeah.
instead of just inundating ourselves with things that we're just not coping with. So I would say maybe try doing things differently. Just take a walk at a different time of the day. Of course, still take a walk if you do. If you never took a walk, maybe you start doing that.
Yeah.
Incorporate more variety into your day. But even the things that you do on a regular basis, maybe try to just approach them differently. Just take a different route to the grocery store or something. I know it sounds
Yeah.
trite.
So we've said we've got take a break, change things up.
Even the things you normally do.
Yeah. And cut yourself some slack. I think that's a key one too.
And we
Um,
also, when we had talked about this before Christmas, we thought maybe perspective, focusing on positives. It
yeah.
does you zero good to be mulling and whining with the masses. Trust me, there's a lot to complain about in life. But there's also a lot of wonderful things happening right now. There are a lot of wonderful things happening right now. Listen, the sun came up again without complaint. I know it sounds trite, but it's to be celebrated, y'all. It's beautiful. I don't know, maybe because the weather is so good right now in South Africa, and as I said, with the
Yeah.
rain, everything just looks. It's like the colors are vibrant. It's so easy to just stand out. But take the time to smell the roses,
Yeah.
and really
When
focus
we
on the
first
positives, what you feed your mind.
had this conversation, they were in the midst of uh the well, it was the election was over, but they were still processing the votes, and then
Oh
it
yeah,
hadn't. We were waiting for inauguration day, and there was so
U.S.
much
U.S.
negativity.
We're talking about the United States, right? For anyone
True,
who's
but I
wondering.
say we because even in New Zealand, the whole world seemed to be waiting for inauguration day. Because
Yes.
particularly here in New Zealand, I was getting so much negativity around me. Oh, I won't believe it until he's actually inaugurated. And that's when I said to you, you know what? I'm so tired of all this negativity.
Yeah.
You need to remain positive. And here we are now. I kid you not. The air is fresher. People are looking at everything in a different light. We have new objectives, we have new goals, and we got there. We got there in the end. And so, what was all that negative energy for? It didn't do us any good. It just
Mm-hmm.
brought us all down.
Mm-hmm.
Life's hard as
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Yeah.
So,
No, I hear
you
you.
got to focus on what you can do to make it better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And really,
Um,
in your own space, I mean, not all of us are activists, and I really, truly do applaud people, who are out there actively trying to do things, who put in themselves in harm's way, or who put themselves, in the forefront of action and decision making on a global scale. I'd never do well in politics. That's why I quit being a public servant, among other things, See, the economist wasn't gonna cut it for me because I just find all of that just a little stifling. Worked for me in my 20s, but I'm in a different space now. But I really applaud people who are doing that sort of work. But for the rest of us, especially if you're just, a mom or a dad, you're just trying to get through the day and you have kids that are looking at you every day, every step of the way. How are you gonna get through the day in a way that is good and that you can get through it in a way that's empowered? And
yeah,
what we're saying right now, what I hear you saying, Emily, is your mindset. Yeah,
yeah,
don't allow yourself to be stuck in the negative rut, because what you feed yourself is you create it. The energy you feed yourself is the energy you create in the world. So it does help. Yeah. So what? That as they say, shit happens. Can I say that? It does happen. But what good does it do to now just mull over that
Yeah.
to no end?
And I
But
think that's what builds resilience, and that's what what I should, all of this advice I should be listening to right now as you feel a little bit defeated in some of your efforts, and you're trying to you especially when you take a break and you come right back to what you left behind, right? So it's all well and good to take a break and have a breather, but if you
getting
face
back in the
some
rut.
challenges, then you can feel a little bit overwhelmed to start with because you just had a break and you think, wow, that was so nice, but it's not reality. And now you're back in
Mm-hmm.
reality.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
really trying to take it one step at a time and build, for example, exactly that happened. I came back from my break. I felt overwhelmed. I realized I couldn't cope with some of my challenges. And so you have your little breakdown, you have your little, I can't do this. And then you turn it around and you think, okay, day by day, what can I do differently? What can I do to help me achieve what I need to achieve to turn this around? And it may take one step at a time each day. You're not going to solve it instantly, but you got to keep on at it. Otherwise, you're just going to still be there a year from
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you now. A couple of things came up for me as you were talking. One quote I read recently, and I've known it for a little bit now, speaking, going back to that point about not focusing on negatives. Oh, I see somebody's just chiming
Someone
in.
gave us a heart.
Welcome. Yes, welcome, whoever you are. We can't quite see you right now, but thank you for being with us. Thank you for chiming in.
Oh, it's
Uh,
Cody.
oh, great.
It's a
Okay,
friend of
somebody you
mine.
know. Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. That's great. That's great. I wanted to go back to that the whole question of perspective.
So much for
Um,
deleting this now, huh?
I'm sorry.
We talked about, okay, we'll make it live, but then we'll delete it.
No, look. Well, I guess we're
Too late
not gonna
now.
do that now. Yeah. Anyway,
Keep
um,
talking. Sorry.
I was gonna say, you can. I think Kobe left us a comment.
I'm
Um,
into it.
okay, great. Going back to perspective, that's where I was. Somebody a quote I read, I'm a big Abraham Hicks fan, law of attraction kind of stuff. I'm like the biggest proponent. And one quote I've found very helpful recently is, let me see if I can say it right. Esther Hicks says, the biggest, something like the biggest help you can give somebody is for you to be happy. Something like that. Like it really helps for you. We always think about actively doing something to help somebody when truly at the end of the day, it all outer start. It often is enough for you to just be happy because that happiness radiates
Right.
and people get inspired by how you are and just your energy becomes the inspiring factor rather than anything you do. And I think this is where it really helps the whole notion of perspective, how you look at things. If you have the ability to look at things in a positive way, in a way that inspires yourself, in a way that keeps you positive, that's how you change the world. That's the contribution you can make to the world on a at a really fundamental level.
Yeah,
I
it's
really,
amazing how effective a smile is.
yes, it's that simple, isn't it? Yes,
Yeah,
yes, as
just a
simple as a
smile.
smile.
A
You
genuine
see,
smile. A genuine smile.
yes,
People can
yes.
read a smile.
Yes, because we're all energy, aren't we? We respond to
Yeah.
each other's energies more than the words we use, even. Words are just words. But, when somebody watches this show, they're probably, at a really fundamental level, are connecting with how we're feeling right now more than what we say. you
Right.
know. But anyway, so that was that. And you had talked about goal setting, do being, do not in a major way, but just doing one thing at a time, not letting too many things inundate you and just stifle you. Yes, that was the point
Right.
to me. Um, and then the last big thing well, maybe it's not the last, you'll tell me, but I know you and I are big proponents of believing in oneself.
Oh, absolutely. Believe in yourself. And
Yes.
I am I think that that is the key to following your dreams. You believe in yourself. It doesn't matter whether it's a stupid dream, and I shouldn't phrase it like that, but it's your dream, it's your desire. You're the one who's going to make it happen. You have to
Yeah.
believe in yourself. Nobody else is going to make it happen for you. You
Yeah.
can leverage off of other people, you can get support, but you're the one who's going to make it happen
Hmm.
by continuing at working at that dream. And I have a dream right now that I don't get cut off because my battery is so low that I think that so, so, so if I suddenly disappear, this is
That's
why.
why, right? Yeah, well, you know what we can do? We can cast the vision out there. Let's talk to the universe.
Right.
Well, we're almost to the end of our show. You know how time really does fly. So if we do get cut off, it's not a big problem. But I think we should your battery allowing um, that whole notion of self confidence, really believing in yourself, and how nobody's gonna do it for you. It's amazing how fundamental a need that too is. If you don't believe it, nobody else will.
Yeah.
It's that simple, period. Doesn't matter how much they love you, but if you don't believe it yourself, it's over, mate. Just kiss it goodbye.
Yeah.
So
And I think that is what we discussed as a next podcast discussion is around confidence, and especially confidence through your different life stages.
yes.
And as a woman, for example, and as one perspective, and then in the workforce, and there's a lot to be, I think, to explore on that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
how we build our confidence
Mm-hmm.
and what we need to do to represent ourselves in certain situations that can really help us grow and achieve what we want to achieve. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that discussion because you just reminded me of it.
Yeah.
And now that we're 24 minutes in, I'm starting to get the juices flowing, and
You're just getting warmed up.
I'm just getting warmed up, and my battery's about to die.
On that note, wonderful world, I think we better call it a day. What do you think, Emily?
I think it was great to be back. What
Yeah,
did
it's great.
I said we're back, and I had a great
Uh, I
starting line.
know. Now I have to
What
look.
was
I
that?
have to look it up. Wait, I'm gonna look it up. Sorry, because we're always swapping notes. What did you say? You said, oh gosh. Let me see if I can find it. Kutzel and Emily are back at our new time of. We're still trying to figure it out. Well, we think around this time, right? But on
It sounded so great in the moment. It sounded so great in the moment.
it did. It did. Anyway, well, Emily, any closing thoughts for the day?
No, I think we got that. We're back. We're gonna be here. Maybe not weekly, but definitely frequently.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
stay tuned
yeah.
for our next episode, and
Don't forget
keep
to
that battery
subscribe.
charged.
Well, you know what? Wishing you a wonderful whoever you are, whether you're watching this as a replay or if you're streaming live right now. We're really wishing you, washing you, wishing you a really kick-ass 2021. I really feel positive. You know, with this whole COVID thing, at least we had a run. We had a trial run last year. Now we know what we're doing. Well, you know, New Zealand, you guys, you guys don't have to worry about lockdowns and stuff. But for the rest of us, and let me tell you, South Africa's got that second wave thing, whatever. At least we know what we're doing now. Right?
Well,
We don't have to be shocked about it, having to stay indoors. We've done it before. So, yeah, it's going to be kick ass. All right, everybody. That's it. It's a
okay.
wrap. Thank you. Bye bye. See you next time.
Bye.